Mr. Makti, coming live and direct, still not in the Dodge studios. It's really tickling and teething my taco right now, messing around with American car companies, and I'm really thinking about just dumping American cars. I'm sorry, man. This is just really pissing me off. I got a problem with a Ram truck caused by the Chrysler Corporation and a faulty design, yet I'm persecuted for the damage that their design caused. America, gotta love it. So here we are, as the script is kind of putting itself together to be kind of interesting to see what happens in Cleveland. Let's see if the Cavs pull off a win here. Sports betting is legal in America. Sports betting is now legal. Now you have a bookie on every corner. My biggest fear with sports betting, a lot of people ask me about the sports betting, what did I think about it? My biggest fear with sports betting becomes very addictive. It's kind of like in Europe, sports betting is like liquor stores on every corner. You got a bookie on every corner. So that's my only fear with the sports betting. And now it's going to be instant. When you had companies like Bovado, people that have gambled online, you got Bovado, some of these other companies, a lot of the financial transactions take place through China. Now, Bovado's about to change. Overnight, Bovado now, most of their transactions are now going to be centralized in America. That's what they were kind of on a freeze for, is waiting on those transactions to switch. I read the story on. So now they're centralized in America. They're one of the biggest online bookies you could have. And boy, they're about to clean up on these damn finals. I told everybody, there's a sucker born every minute. There's a sucker born every minute. And the way that these folks make their money is they get you caught up in a scenario. So when Golden State won, and I told a lot of folks when we had this conversation that Golden State had to win their first game. They had to win that first game. And they had to win it because they had to reel the suckers in. They had to reel in all the suckers. So the minute Golden State won, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. The minute LeBron lost, everybody jumped on the Cleveland bandwagon because there are people that have this idea that LeBron is the comeback king and he's going to show his greatness. Possibility. Like I said, some of my other scenarios, I had LeBron in the finals against James Harden because I think this has a lot to do with the bloodlines that I talked about in my last video and the royal wedding. And we talk about the changing of the king. Remember now, King James could be the first, the second, the third. And we might be moving into King James II with James Harden now being crowned the king. The new king for a while, or the king for this year. So we can see the end of King James's reign now and the beginning of the new reign of the new King James. So a lot of this stuff is ritualistic. A lot is ritualistic. So I haven't moved away from Houston, going to the finals and possibly winning the finals. I told a lot of people that I was going to stick with Houston. You saw Houston last night win their game. They have to go to Golden State and they have to win. I think that series is going to be one of the series where they make a lot of money off of. It's going to go back and forth. But right now, they already got a lot of suckers hemmed in because the minute everybody bet on Golden State to win that series and to win game 2 and the sweep is the minute they get paid. So it's all a hustle for these people. They have to set up a betting scenario. It would be boring if you knew what two teams were automatically going to go to the finals. So they bet on different odds during the games. They bet on how many points to be scored in a quarter. They bet on the sweep. They bet on who's going to be the champs at the end of everything. So they make money in different variations. Right now, there's a bet on where Cleveland gets sweep. All Cleveland have to do is win one game, and the suckers lose their money. So I'm still going towards Boston and Houston and the crowning of King James. I think the coach from Boston gets close this year, but does not get the brass ring this year. But I'm not discounting that opportunity coming from them next year that Boston is not back in the NBA Finals when Kyrie returns against an LA team. Okay. But remember, we got New York, we got some other things that are going to be going on as well in this mix. And a lot has to do on LeBron. Now, remember now, LeBron can't leave on a high note. LeBron can't leave on a high note. Why? Why can't LeBron leave on a high note? I want you guys to think about that. Remember, the last time LeBron left, it was against the Boston Celtics. They were up 2 games. They messed around and lost 4. Hey, things could change in this scenario. Like I said, there's my scenario with Boston going to you ain't gonna let me over. But there's my scenario with Boston that I've had, with Cleveland going to the championship. So that was the James versus James battle scenario we had talked about. But now we get to this point of how does LeBron lead? And it's kind of symbolic that LeBron is kind of in the same situation with the Boston Celtics. And let's see how it pans out. Remember the last couple of games, he was just passing the ball to other people. He really didn't give a damn. And that's because he didn't want to go. The reality was LeBron didn't want to go. LeBron didn't want to leave Cleveland when he left. And this thing of, well, they pick where they want to go. No, they don't. This is modern day slavery. These guys don't have no control. Look at Dez Bryant. If he picked where he want to go, why ain't on the team yet? Why ain't on the team yet? Colin Kaepernick, why he's not on the team if he's picking where he wants to go? Nobody picks where they want to go. You're told where you will be according to the ritual. You're told where you think that Peyton Manning wanted to leave Indianapolis. Peyton Manning loved it down there in Indianapolis. He loved it down there. It was rural, it was quiet, he had plenty of land, he had houses. He didn't want to leave Indianapolis. But according to ritual, he had to leave Indianapolis. So LeBron did not want to leave Cleveland when he went to Miami. He did not want it. They wanted that move for him to win titles. He would have preferred to win titles in Cleveland. But they pushed him out. And this time it's going to be the same thing. LeBron has said all this stuff about Cleveland and how he loves it and wrote letters and how he never leaves. Then you get a scenario where he turns around and leaves again. The people will turn on him and they will hate LeBron for the rest of his life if that happens. So they have to introduce a scenario where LeBron leaves the city. Think about it, where LeBron leaves the city. And this time when he leaves, the fans see the city as the enemy. The fans have to see the city as the enemy, not LeBron. Not LeBron leaving, but the fans must see the city, must see the team, must see the management as the enemy, or as, oh, y'all ran LeBron out. That has to be the look. So let's see how they add Dan Gilbert in this script, especially coming into these next couple of games. How they kind of add Dan Gilbert into the book script. If you don't see Kyrie name pop back up, as possibly they didn't want to trade Kyrie and LeBron really didn't want him to go. Let's see how this stuff kind of adds into the script. But good chance we don't see LeBron in the finals. I was one who said, that it was a possibility, but that number 7 is the number of completion in gematria and numerology. So, I foresaw him taking a break somewhere. Taking a break, coming back later, possibly winning these next 3 titles in a place of their selection. A lot of people are talking about New York with this Kawhi Leonard thing, and possibly Kawhi being in New York with LeBron and Kyrie and Kawhi Leonard and LeBron winning these titles together. Possibility. That might have been the script for Kawhi for a long period of time. He didn't want to, mess himself up. And now they make that run. Now, where in New York is the question. A lot of people just automatically think the Knicks. Remember now, LeBron had this big relationship with Jay-Z in Brooklyn. They basically built that stadium under the idea that possibly they could pull LeBron there. So it's a chance we could see LeBron not as a New York Knick, but LeBron as a Brooklyn Net. So let's watch to see where in New York they sit LeBron down. And wherever they sit him, that's going to be where this next run is made, but it's going to be a dark time for LeBron because nothing is free. And in the world of rituals, you have to sacrifice something to get to the heights that he's asking for. And I have my fear of what's going to be sacrificed. This is Mr. Mahdi, Back Row Ministry. Keep your head up, stay in the game, and don't be a sucker making suckers bets. Peace.